Greetings to you all. This is the news in Africa and the world. Presidentials in Ivory Coast, the ruling RHDP party has nominated President Alassane Ouattara during a convention in Abidjan to stand again as a candidate, defying opponents who say he does not have the constitutional right to stand a third term. The National Election Commission, according to a report from its president Ibrahim Koulibaly Kouibé, plans to reform their offices and consult all parties in the run-up to vote. Responding to a formal request from his party on Wednesday to run for re-election, Ouattara asked for some time to consider but added, I quote, "You know, I have never disappointed you," end of quote. Addressing party members, he said he will announce his decision in a speech to the nation presumed for August 6. The presidential race was upset earlier this month by the death of the preferred successor of Ouattara after the latter said he would not stand again. Meantime, Henri Konan Bedie remains the only heavy opposition candidate of the PDCI party in the October election. After several requests from NGOs, lawyers, and even political opponents to evacuate General Jean-Marie Michel Mokoko of Congo-Brazzaville, authorities have finally yielded and ordered his evacuation to Turkey for treatment. The Minister of Foreign Affairs confirmed he will be leaving the country this Thursday, accompanied by his doctor. The former Chief of Staff of the Army and an opposition to President Denis Sassou Nguesso have deteriorated sharply last month in prison in Brazzaville. He was later transferred to the military hospital where it was diagnosed he suffered from severe malaria aggravated by hypertension. Zimbabwe is in mourning. President Emmerson Mnangagwa announced the death of the country's Minister of Agriculture, Perence Shiri. The 65-year-old minister was hospitalized the previous day, being exposed to the virus after his driver had died of COVID-19. Perence Shiri had commanded under Mugabe the 5th Brigade of the Army, which caused the death of nearly 20,000 people during a massacre in the early 1980s. President Mnangagwa described him as a true patriot who dedicated his life to liberation, independence, and the service of his country. So far, 2,817 people have been affected, 40 have died, and 604 have recovered of the coronavirus. Taking you out of the African continent, the CEOs of 4 tech companies in the world, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Sundar Pichai of Google, and Tim Cook of Apple, faced lawmakers for a hearing on digital competition that could have caused violent upheaval on an industry largely unhindered by regulations. The powerful tech leaders answered to a range of accusations from the U.S. House Judiciary Committee Antitrust Panel through a video conference, making the first time the 4 appeared together before lawmakers. The executive provided bursts of data showing how competitive their markets are and the value of their innovation and essential services to customers. They also confronted a range of other concerns about alleged political bias, their effect on U.S. democracy, and their role in China. The COVID-19 pandemic has put these tech giants into sharp focus. Where other companies have struggled, big tech companies have thrived. Together, they are now worth $5 trillion. It's led to accusation that just like banks, they are simply too big to fail. The number of complaints leveled were numerous, but the essentials have been aforementioned. Still in the United States, the military has announced plans to withdraw almost 12,000 troops from Germany on order from President Donald Trump. Last month, he had announced to cut the number of U.S. troops in Germany to 25,000, faulting the close U.S. ally for failing to meet NATO's defense spending targets and accusing it of taking advantage of American trade. U.S. officials said some of the moves will begin in months and would likely send air and ground forces to countries that already have an American troop presence. Members of Trump's own political party have criticized the troop move as a gift to Russia and a threat to U.S. national security. It has alarmed congressional Democrats and is seen by many in Europe as an emblematic of the deteriorating relations of both countries. And with a budget of almost 81 billion euros, the Horizon Europe program has seen a big cut the European Commission's original proposal, who have added 13 billion euros more to the pot. But as it is, European research is one of the main victims of the EU's recovery plan. For researchers in Europe who have benefited from previous funding, it comes as a shock. The goals of the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen have also been cast into doubt with the projected cuts. The sector is asking leaders to assess the consequences of these cuts for universities. Dutch establishment could lose 100 million euros, and in Flanders the cost could rise to 130 million euros. For researchers, the decision to cut funds was a short-sighted one. Those were the essentials in Africa and the world. Thank you very much for watching, and do so again if you can. Until we meet, do take care and stay safe.